I'm still really understanding, just starting to understand my stones, but these are the ones that have spoken to me today, and I've given them a purpose. Not only for today, but from this day forward. And I've noticed some details with spending some time with each stone, which is what we're supposed to do. And unlike how it just says you're supposed to, I actually really love that I spent some time with each stone, because it has given me a greater meaning and purpose for each one. Therefore, that energy that they provide makes more sense to me. It allows me to connect to them in a different manner. So I wanted to run down them and talk about what I think that they mean to me and why I've sat down here today. So these are the ones that spoke to me when I thought about sitting down and sending you positive energy. So this one right here in the center is an Amazonite. I don't know how to say it. Amazonite. It is a stone that is supposed to alleviate worry, and also get rid of fear, promote universal love, and be very soothing. This is actually one that I had found for my sister in a raw form, and I didn't buy it when I felt like I really should have. It is a beautiful stone, and you can just feel how it's calming and beautiful. I don't know why it's not focusing, but that's what this one's for. This one is fluorite. Its purpose is higher learning and harmony. Now, this other one over here is a rainbow fluorite. This one here is a rainbow fluorite. Little label still on it. Focus. It doesn't want to focus. Okay, well, fine. So, this is rainbow fluorite as well. This one is also for higher learning and harmony. And so is this one. I like to use them whenever I'm studying or whatever may have you. They're to allow for clarity and understanding, and bring a calmness to the time when you're really trying to understand whatever difficult situation you may be in. And I find that they're very helpful when I'm learning or doing homework or whatever it is. If I'm really trying to understand my cards or my stones, there it goes. They help to clear the energy so that I can focus on what really matters, and bring that harmony into my brain and my mind and my soul so that I can focus further on the important stuff. And I love that about them. This one is howlite. It was one that I found during the RC at the location that I went to check out those books and things that are important. I find that this one, howlite, is supposed to be for insight, serenity, wisdom, and relieving insomnia. And when you put those things together, I find that this absolutely stunning stone is soothing when you think about it. It's just calm to look at. It's beautiful. It reminds you of marble and the richness or fanciness of some places, which is really soothing and calming, and I love that. It called to me for today because I feel like sometimes we lack serenity. Sometimes we lack the insight and wisdom to know that in all problems that we go through, there is a reason. And sometimes we have to go through those problems in order to get to the other side. I feel like those issues that we go through, even though there may be a deeper meaning, we can struggle with finding that meaning and finding the calm within the storm. And I find that this stone is that purpose of trying to aid in helping to do that. Mr. Malachite here, I don't know why it's Mr., but that's the first time I've said that. This malachite stone I absolutely love. It's supposed to allow for emotional release of whatever's going on, but it also is supposed to protect us and warn us of negative when it comes. Some say that if your stone breaks, that it has either kept off the negative or it's warning you that it's coming. It could be a bad sign, depends on who looks at it, but this stone is supposed to protect you and supposed to allow for release of all the negativity that's in your world and allow for clarity to see things clearer as well. So it protects from the negative and it brings on the positive. This is serpentine, I believe. No, it is unakite. Unakite. I love this unakite stone. The reason for it is because on the surface it just looks like a normal, kind of reminds me of a snake, even though it's unakite. It's just a black and green stone with some gray, but if you look a little closer, in most of the stones there is some purple here. And I love that it's not consistently all throughout the stone. The stone is supposed to be for kindness. And I think the biggest part of this is we're not kind to ourselves. And sometimes through all the negative that we have, we forget to see that there's a lesson to learn, and we forget to see the positive in all things. And to me, this stone reminds me that even if we're going through something, there's always something to learn here. And through all the negative and all the bad and all the ugly, there's beauty to be found in all of those lessons. There's the purple, that's the beauty. You just have to find it. That's what I love about this stone here, because it helps you to be kind to yourself, not just others. That sometimes we mess up, and sometimes we make mistakes, and sometimes we're just going through some stuff. So be kind, be lenient, not only to others, but to yourself, that sometimes we're just going through some stuff, and you just have to find the beauty in all that in order to make it through. So this one spoke to me today. This is serpentine. Again, it kind of reminds me of even though it's got the snake name, I love this because I didn't notice it until I started checking this out more, but serpentine is supposed to be for regeneration. And I didn't notice all these scars on here. And what I find extremely interesting is this stone is for regeneration. The idea of regeneration to me is we have to remember that we come from a flawed past. We have a flawed past. We're not perfect. We make mistakes. And mistakes happen. But that doesn't mean that we can't overcome or that we forget those things. It means we learn from those things. We're still scarred. We may be bruised. But that doesn't mean that we can't start anew and we can't continue to go on, even with these bruises or these cuts or these scars. We can still regenerate and start anew and be fresh. But always, always remember where you came from. That's what I think this stone means to me. What have I not talked about? This one, hematite. Hematite is for grounding. We all need to be grounded and reminded that sometimes we can have our heads in the clouds. Sometimes we can get lost in the learning and all of these things, all this stuff, learning, understanding, being too serene and being too insightful or wise rather than living in the here and now, to be too calm and love too much, to want to regenerate and be stuck too much in the past, to see the beauty in too much, to overcome those things but focus too much on the beauty rather than seeing the negative and learning from those things, and protecting ourselves from things so much that we miss out on something amazing. So to me, hematite is for that very purpose, is to ground us and remind us where we came from, to keep us focused on the here and now at times so that we can learn from these stones so that they can do their job. That's what I think that one's for. This quartz is a hematoid quartz. To me, this has a very important role as well. They all play a really big role, but this is supposed to create balance and healing, yin and yang kind of thing. I had a lady at the shop tell me that she had clients, the place that I got this, put them on where they're in pain and it helped to heal them. And she said, I know it's supposed to be balanced, but I didn't understand why. I think the importance of this stone is that if we don't find a happy balance between all of these things, if we can't get to that, then we're not going to heal. We're not going to move forward. Because, like I said, this will create learning and guidance and higher understanding, a greater harmony with life and everything. Well, we have to have a nice balance of that. We can't have too much of that either. We can't be too serene and stuck in the clouds here again. Too much wisdom you're not living in today. This one is, again, alleviate worry and fear, promote unconditional love, universal love, and soothing. Again, we can love too much. We can protect ourselves too much from from anything. You protect yourself from growth, from love, from all of these things. You can be too kind. You can overlook things that shouldn't be overlooked. We can be stuck in this positive purple part and not seeing the other side to gain insight from it. And we can work so much to regenerate that we don't actually learn from these mistakes. We don't actually process the pain. We don't go through the things that we need to go through to move forward. We just want to move forward. So again, grounding allows us to see today, allows us to live in the here and now at times rather than being in the clouds with all these things and too focused on the other things that don't matter. But this one allows for a happy medium. It creates a balance between all of these things. Something that will allow us to see what we need to see. To not focus too much on one thing, but see it all. I love that. And my humongous, amazing black obsidian that I have from the Mayan temples. This one is supposed to shield and protect us from negative. I love how when I turn it into the light, it is like a shield. And you don't actually know where the edge of the stone is. It's almost like it tricks you to where it's at and its beauty. It does act like that shining shield if you look at it. It's absolutely amazing. I didn't notice until today that it looks like there's two eyes here watching over, I guess. But I love that this stone is supposed to be shielding and protecting. It takes the negative and keeps us away from all of that stuff that can get in the way. It shields us from those things. And to me, this stone means it keeps us shielded from possible attacks while we're in this whole process of all these stones. While we're working to be grounded, to find a happy medium, to grow, all of these things in synchronicity. I think this stone is the overlooker. While these are all trying to work to make it all work out and find balance, this one is going to keep the outside forces at bay so that we can focus on that growth. And that's just kind of how I've evaluated my stones today, and they kind of spoke to me whenever I was thinking about you. So I'm hoping that you did get to watch this and that you get something from it. I'm going to pull my cards now and do a little meditation for you, my dear. I'm sending all this happy energy to you with love.